Welcome to the module on rigid payments. Under rigid payments, today we will be discussing about the dry line concrete, or commonly known as a DLC layer, which is which is laid just below the PQC layer, that is paved quality concrete layer. So to start with, what is a DLC or a dry line concrete is? Dry line concrete is a plain concrete with a large ratio of aggregate to cement than a structural concrete. It is generally used for road filling and is not a structural concrete. It is also called as a leveling course on top of your wet mix macadam or below the paved quality concrete, and is used as a base course for laying the PQC. What is DLC? DLC is popularly used for the construction of sub-base layers under the concrete pavement in India. Is a zero slump concrete with maximum aggregate to cement ratio 15:1. The minimum cement content is 150 kgs per cubic meters for making a DLC mix. The fly ash to be used or incorporated into the DLC mix should not be more than 20% by weight of the cementitious materials. The content of the OPC at any point of time shall not be less than 120 kgs per cubic meter. That means the OPC quantity in a DLC mix is restricted to minimum 120 kgs per cubic meters, and the minimum cementitious material is 150 kgs per cubic meter. That means 120 plus 30 kgs of fly ash can be used. 150 kgs, 20% is 30 kgs only. So the second criteria is compressive strength requirement, which is the average compressive strength of each consecutive group of 5 cubes should not be less than 10 MPa, and the compressive strength of any individual cube shall not be less than 7.5 MPa when tested at 7 days. The cubes are casted as shown in the figure using a DLC hammer. The DLC hammer is attached with a rod which consists of a plate at the bottom of stainless steel with a high toughness, so that when it is being pushed inside the cube as shown in the left hand side figure, and then vibrated using the Hilti's vibrator or any other suitable vibrator, then it should not break, and you should be able to properly compact the dry lean concrete, which is of zero slump, and it can remove the air voids or the air bubbles from the concrete mixes. The gradation required for the ingredients to be used as in the DLC mix should meet the criteria given in table 600.1 of MORTH. Looking at the table 600.1, you can say that the maximum size of aggregate to be used in the DLC mix is 26.5, where 100% of the material should pass through this particular sieve of 26.5 millimeters, and the percentage passing in 75 micron sieve is restricted to 0 to 10%. That means the aggregates, the combination of aggregates which is to be used to produce the DLC mix should satisfy the grading requirement of table 600.1 as shown in the photograph here, which is an extract of MORTH revision 5th. So the design stipulations generally one has to, in order to do the design mix of DLCs, minimum compressive strength required at 7 days is 10 MPa, maximum size of aggregate is 26.5, minimum cement content is 120 kgs per cubic meters, cementitious content adopted is 150 kgs per cubic meters, maximum aggregate cement ratio is 15:1, and anything below this can be adopted to do the design mix. And in this particular example, what is being adopted as aggregate cement ratio is 14:1. So before the start of the design mix, the specific properties of materials needs to be tested and recorded, like specific gravity of cement, specific gravity of fly ash, specific gravity and water absorption of coarse aggregates and fine aggregates. In this particular example, specific gravity of 26.5 mm aggregate is 2.84 and water absorption is 1.84. Specific gravity and water absorption for 10 mm aggregate is 2.82 and 1.85. Specific gravity of fine aggregates is 2.75, which is tested and recorded in the examples. Now, in order to proportion the materials to be used in the producing the DLC mix, the aggregate cement ratio plays a major role. Like in this particular case, we have taken the aggregate cement ratio as 14:1, and we know that the cement content per cubic meter is 150 kgs per cubic meter. So the total aggregate quantity required in the mix is the multiplication of cement quantity into the ratio 14, which is 150 into 14 works out to be 2100 kgs per cubic meter. So aggregate cement ratio is helping you to quantify the total aggregate quantity in the mix. If the aggregate to cement ratio is 13:1, then the total aggregate quantity will be 150 into 13. If the aggregate cement ratio is 10:1, then the total aggregate quantity will be 150 into 10, which is 1500 kgs per cubic meters, and so on. So once we identify the total aggregate content in the DLC mix, then the different proportions of coarse aggregate Ca1, Ca2 and the fine aggregate can be determined by doing the gradation. The gradation should meet the requirements given in table 600.1 of MORTH, where the maximum size of aggregate is 26.5 and the lowest seal size is 75 micron. So what is happening is, by varying the proportions of Ca1, Ca2 and fine aggregate, we try to match the theoretical combination of these aggregates in order to achieve the required gradation given in table 600.1. So under this process, what is happened is, if you add 40% of Ca1, 22% of Ca2 and 38% of fine aggregates, you will be able, your mix is able to satisfy the required grading requirement. That means the quantity of aggregate required to be mixed in the DLC mix for Ca1 is 840 kgs, is nothing but 40% of 2100 kgs. Ca2 is 22% of 2100, which works out to be 462 kgs per cubic meters, and fine aggregate is 38% of 2100, which works out to be 798 kgs per cubic meter. So this is how the different proportions or weights of the aggregates can be calculated, which can be mixed later on in the batching plant to produce the dry lean concrete or DLC mixes. So the total quantity of aggregate plays a major role. Total quantity of aggregate is being calculated based on the aggregate cement ratio, and then based on the total quantity of aggregate, the different proportions of aggregate is being calculated in the mixes. So once the mixed proportion is freezed for 1 cubic meters of DLC, like in this particular example, we require water 130.73, cement is 120 kgs, fly ash is 130, fly ash is 30 kgs, so that a total cementitious content is 150 kgs. Then coarse aggregate, which is a combination of Ca1 and Ca2, will be 840 and 462 kgs, which is being proportioned based on the total aggregate quantity of 2100 in the previous slide. So that means this will give you, if the cementitious material or cementitious content in the DLC mix is kept as 1, then 5.6 times of that volume is Ca1, 3.08 times is Ca2, and 5.32 is crest stone. That means 14:1 combination is being made as far as the total aggregate to cementitious content is concerned. And the water required is 0.87 times the cement content, or roughly it can be 0.9 also. So once the mixed proportion is fixed, the mixes are being made at by varying the different moisture content at each mixes, and try to find out the wet densities and the dry densities of the mix using the Proctor test. The need of the Proctor test is to identify the maximum dry density and the optimum moisture content of the DLC mixes. Now what is happening is at 4.5%, if you see the extreme right column, which shows you the values of average dry density of the mix. So at 4.5%, the DLC mix is having 4.87 grams per cc of average density. At 5% it is 2.522. At 5.5% it is 2.553, and at 6% again it becomes 2.553. That means between the moisture content of 5.5 and 6%, you have the optimum moisture content, and the corresponding to that the density required will be the maximum dry density of the DLC mixes. Now, when you plot a graph with respect to the moisture content, taking the moisture content in the x-axis and the dry density in the y-axis, you will be able to plot a graph and you will be able to see the peak. The peak corresponding to the density is the maximum dry density, and corresponding to that maximum dry density, the corresponding moisture content is the optimum moisture content of the mix. Now, the need to have the optimum moisture content and the maximum dry density for the DLC mix is, it will help you to identify, or it will help you to check the percentage compaction of the DLC mix in the field. What happens is the DLC mix which is being compacted in the field is to be tested using the sand replacement method. Okay, now the sand replacement method will give you the field dry density of the DLC mix, which is being placed and compacted using the rollers. Now the field dry density, the ratio of the field dry density to the maximum dry density will give you the percentage compaction of the DLC mixes. And then once the mixes are collected and cubes are casted, those cubes can be checked for the compressive strength in order to check the requirements of the compressive strength of the DLC mixes, whether the mixes are meeting the requirements of compressive strength or not. So if the compressive strengths are not met, that means there is an issue as far as the mixes are concerned with respect to the design mix. That means the mixes are not produced in line with the design mix. That means there is a change in the aggregate to cement ratio, or there might be a change in the cement content in the mixes. Even though the percentage compaction is achieved, but if the compressive strengths are not achieved, that means the stretch which is being laid is deemed to be rejected. So to summarize this module, we talked about the definition of DLC, or the dry lean concrete. We talked about the process to do the design mix of DLC, how to determine the Proctor values, that is maximum dry density and optimum moisture content of the DLC mixes. Then the importance of the maximum dry density in order to check the percentage compaction of the DLC mix which is being laid in the field. In the next module, we will be covering about the process of laying and compaction of the DLC mixes in the field. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sparing time to go through the video.